Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing Herbert Wigwe, the family, the passing, and the funeral that is planned for tomorrow. One of the things that we can but observe is the fact that the pastor of his church, which he attended, seemed to be they were not present at the night of tribute, and we do have the reports that it seems the family of his parents had disinvited them for the funeral following the birthday celebration of the pastor's wife, Shiju Iluyomade. She had a birthday party a week after that was quite elaborate. I'm not even sure I saw Tony Elumelu at that tribute either, because he was also recorded in the video. So I didn't see him at the night of tribute either. But what are your thoughts on the fact that all that happened, you know, the drama, I know we avoided that conversation during that period because it was just a very uneasy, you know, it's not hard, it's not easy for ladies of you know to see a conversation and talk about it, you know. But in that one, the producers really wanted us to talk about it, but I just felt felt quite uneasy to have that conversation. Same thing happened when the Kunle Afolayan story. It's just there's an uneasy conversation that we have matured to a level that certain things
not to feed
we should, I don't know, we shouldn't be feeding certain things, you know. So I just felt that it wasn't necessary for us to take those topics. But in this regard, the tributes have come. I would have loved to see them at least acknowledged because he was a member of their church. But what are your thoughts on the whole drama that happened? Let me start with you.
They say, oh, they cry, they see road. It is a non-saying. Any sukun oriran. You people have it too. We have it.
We have it, yeah.
That, you know. So the grieving is also watching. Who is grieving with me? Who is mocking me? I remember my neighbor when she lost her daughter. Her daughter was quite young. I think she died at 11. And I remember her taking her to school between 7 and that age. And her own blood sister came. Immediately she heard that she had lost a child, she showed up and she said, leave me. You come laugh me. You come laugh me. Because of how they grew up, you know, sibling rivalry. She didn't expect. So who is in grief is also looking. How are people reacting to what I have lost? How do people measure what I have lost? And when you belittle that time and say,
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Life goes on. You know, some people joke about it. Life goes on. You have killed your father. You know, those kind of. You need to know how the person, the relationship was, and how you would deal, how you would comport yourself. For me, that pastor is the most insensitive human being. Because when we read the supports that she had, I think they for birthday, you can have it the year after. If there is life, you can still celebrate it. It's not like it's cast in stone. It's not like that was the solution to COVID-19. Worse things have happened. What if it was her husband who passed that money? She had the birthday who owed me. You know? So I just felt they should be disinvited. Because, you know, this is not like a Muslim burial where we bury immediately and people will not be saying, because he has been laid to rest. This one, the body is still cold, not rested yet. And you go on as if everything is normal. You go on bubbly. You go on, even if it is your personality, there should be people who are discerning around you who will be telling you, not at this time. You know, because the worst case is that he is survived by both parents. It's the height of it for me. It's supposed to be the other way around, but now there's a vacuum for his parents. You know them, you see them, you can't just continue life as if nothing happened.
Let me take this call. Good morning from Pastor Dari, you're live. Thanks for calling.
Good morning to the ladies in the house. You're talking about lesson learned at the night of tribute for late Herbert. We should live as human beings devoid of sentiments because life is present. We should first and foremost see ourselves as human beings before your religion, before your tribe. When we live based on that, I think we are good to go. We'll place more value on ourselves. But in this climb, where we have sentiments, that's why we are where we are today. When we're growing up, I don't think there was this kind of religious divide, tribal divide. So if we can see ourselves first and foremost as human beings, I think Nigeria will be better for us. Good morning.
Okay, thank you very much. I didn't hear him, but I'm sure.
So he said we should live as human beings before we thrive, before we find it. We should first always remember that we are humans and live as that.
This was a tough conversation. I actually had this conversation like almost argumentative with my husband, who was of the opinion that, no, they shouldn't have done the birthday, and all of that. Was very insensitive and all those stuff. And I typically like to defend. I like to defend, like, oh, let's take it from their point of view. You don't know what has gone down. You don't know, maybe they had gotten permission. I was making every form of excuse to just sort of like cover up for the fact that this is oda. You know, having such a celebration. If there is a close relationship, as we have heard, there's a close relationship, is wrong, is an oda situation. So when the drama came out, I thought that maybe they had discussed with the family members and explained that, oh, these are the things, we just have to go ahead and do the party. It doesn't mean any form of disrespect, and sort of like informed them. But when I saw that the ceremony, service of songs, the entire, everything we've been seeing over the past few days did not in any way involve his pastors, and these people are his known pastors. He is a known member of the church. Yeah. It just looks like there's a chasm between between the family and the church, and the church could have handled it better. They're meant to know. The church is meant to know better. Yeah. The church is meant to know better. A spiritual leader is meant to be far more self-aware. These are mistakes that maybe your driver can make, or anybody on the road can make. But when you are a spiritual leader, your self-awareness level should be so high that you will not be caught doing. And in the worst case scenario, you would apologize when you find out something like that, because you know that what you do impacts a larger number of people. Yeah. So if you find that, you have done something wrong, you have brought insults to the name of God, to your church, the next level is to say, I am so sorry, openly apologize, because you openly celebrated. You would openly apologize to the church, to the body of Christ, to the family, to say that it's not an apology because I want you to come back to the church and do this ceremony in my church, but I want to apologize because I respect this person called.
I know the RCCG took responsibility, because even I think all the procession, everything is, I think because their region is under our region, I believe. I think my husband is also a choir, so I remember they were still all rehearsing for this service. So I remember that even his parents' church is an RCCG church, so I think their own parish pastor would be the one handling the funeral. But I guess it's just we're trying to understand everybody's angle to this, and the fact that it wasn't as if they don't love this person, but according to in defense of her, it's more like this is something that was difficult for us to move.
Action proves moves.
Yes.
So, Romans 12:15. Rejoice with those that rejoice and mourn with those that mourn. It's as simple as that. You cannot have somebody who you've built a relationship with, who have been in your church, who is like your flock, your sheep, and something bad happens to that person and you are caught rejoicing. You have negated the scriptures on that. They should go and read it. Romans 12:15, right? I found it very insensitive. I really didn't want to talk about it because I didn't know how to
be nice about it.
Be nice about it. It was very, very insensitive for a spiritual leader, like Tokbe said, for somebody who is holding the other flock members accountable. Because for everything you do, and I'm sure a lot of people in that space, in that church, may have been displeased, but they don't know how to say it because it's not done for any reason. That's one. Number two, the parents have a right, because of what has happened, to make their decision and say, we are no longer going to have the ceremony of the burial ceremony in this church. We are taking them to our home church based off of what had happened. People need to be allowed to find closure the way they want to find closure. So it's possible that they were aggrieved with what happened and how insensitive the pastor party, birthday celebration and all of that was. And they said, okay, these people cuckoo don't even care about us. They don't even care about what we are feeling. And if he's very close to his parents, some of the contributions he may have been making for the church, the parents will be aware. He'll be telling them, I was the one that I helped them to do this. They'll be praying for him. God bless you. You are doing for this parish.
Yoruba parents. Wait, you didn't know if it were Yoruba parents, they might not have done that.
Why?
Bring the service to their own church.
Why would they
pick another church?
I don't know.
Maybe
a neutral church, not your church.
So people should be allowed to find closure the way they deem fit. We are the human beings that made the laws on how we want to survive, right? When is the child that dies, the parents do not want to see, the parents don't want to know where they are buried, the parents don't want, but these things are changing because some people are saying that I should be able to see, it doesn't matter, it has happened. Allow me see where this child is buried. Allow me partake. It's my child. I want closure. I want to be able to look at the grave and be asking the questions. Why did you leave me now? We had plans. We had this. We had that. Allow people have closure the best way they can. There is no law that is written that you must take it away from you. We found those laws ourselves to survive. And survival is evolving right now. People are surviving in different ways. So I don't fault them. They could also have done it out of anger. That, for these people to come to this level where they are insensitive towards what we are going through, I don't want to have anything to do with them, and it's okay. By the time they come out of it, it's fine.
Let me take Ade. I'll come to you, Nima. Ade is holding from London. I'm sorry. Good morning, Ade. Are you there?
Good morning, Doctor. Burayo Afolabi Brown. You tried me for 7 minutes.
Yeah, I'm calling from London now. He's pound standing. You're
You know,
you're all right.
dollar exchange. No, you know the dollar exchange.
You're fine.
Sorry about that.
I think I concur with Elijah. You see, my own view is totally different. I don't blame that woman who celebrated her birthday. I blame the man. If you are in charge of your house, you have the final say. You tell your wife, this birthday is not going to happen. And that's the final. But you are blaming the woman. Don't blame the woman. He's married. You blame the husband. Because now what they should do is this. All the dollars that man has contributed to that church, they should give it to charity. That church will remove that dollar and give it to less privileged people and share it with them. That is the only way out to solve the problem. So they cannot consume that man's thousands of dollars contribution to that church, and they did this to that man after he has left. No, they should refund all the money and give it to the needy people. So and that man should beg God to forgive him because
thank you very much, Ade.
His own authority.
All right, thank you.
There was something I want to quickly say before you did not allow me finish. I remember when Davido lost his son, right? Wizkid was supposed to have a concert. He cancelled. He just cancelled that concert because he wanted to. He was in tune with the moment of what, and I know that they are not very close. They might be, we don't know. Yes, publicly they are not very close, but out of respect and out of, understanding the pain my colleague is going through at the moment, he cancelled his own concert. He put it on hold till, that phase was a bit over before he went back to do his. And this is somebody who we would say he's in the world. He's not a Christian. Even the Bible has said it, the children of the world are wiser than the children of light. So we must learn to be human beings, first of all. We must learn to be compassionate, first of all. We must learn to sometimes keep our needs and desires for the greater good, for the image and the personality and the Christianity that you claim to uphold. Some things you would have to, find a way to go around it because of where tomorrow when you stand up and you are preaching to somebody, they want to see your action and not necessarily what you are saying.
Take Festus from K2. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning, sir.
The Bible has already said it all. By their fruits,
I know them.
we shall know them. So, it is an occasion like this that will make us to know the type of pastor that is pastoring them. If this thing has not happened, you will not know, what the man is offering them. Total, putting your wife's whatever above members. But it has happened, and life goes on. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nima, you're going to say something.
So what this pastor did is not something strange to me. I've experienced it within family.
Wow.
Yes. So when somebody is alive and they have all that people need, people come for their needs. It doesn't necessarily mean love. It is that that shows you the real intent of the mind. The parents probably have put them as close family, hence this reaction. I experienced it from family, blood. And the excuse was that I didn't travel home, so they couldn't even commiserate with us. We didn't take the body home. And so everybody just stayed and enjoyed their lives. And so I'm allowed to react my own way too, which is, of course, I can be angry, sad, happy. I want to keep a relationship with you. I don't want to keep. It depends on how I want to react. But there's a saying that a parent should not know the end of their children. So we have African customs all the way to my place in the Southwest, where the youth, the age mates of the child will be the one to deal with the laying to rest and all of that. So the parents do not know to see it. It's like it's something that
prayer point.
Yes, that increases the grief. It increases the grief of the parents to know. I have always never seen where a person. Okay, wait, I saw once. It was an Easterner whose child died, and my parents got up immediately. My father arranged the burial, and then his kinsmen came and said, "You want to use the dead body?" You know, because they thought, and they buried the child right in front of the house. So the grieving mom, after they have all gone back to their businesses, my parents had to now deal with the grieving mom every morning sitting at the grave of her child. So I've seen that one, but you know, it's not a good thing to experience. But I think this is just this tribute. I don't think the parents are dealing with that aspect. I think they're just, just hearing.
I guess, as I said, it's just based on what people are saying.
Yeah.
Okay, why would you choose your own church? That is rather choose a neutral church. That's different. It's a different conversation. But let me take Aramide. There's another part I was going to come to. Aramide, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yes, I'm here. Good
You're
morning.
live. Go ahead, please.
It's my first time of calling.
Welcome to the show.
I'm happy that I was able to get through to you ladies this time, but on such a sad note. The death of this man, even though I do not even know him on a personal level, is something that is so tragic. So I cannot even imagine that the church, the family that is calls its own, do not see it that way. Because if they did, I am not sure that Sharon West should have been allowed to go on under any guise. I felt bad about it, and I have been wondering that when the ladies talk about this, won't this matter for them? Yes. It's not my mind, because I want your view back to that. Yeah. I was always like, won't this matter ever for them? So I'm happy to do for them. It is insensitive. There's no other way to follow it. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you very much, Aramide. As I said, we struggled. Yeah. When it happened, it was brought on my table. I said, it's a bit early. Let's let it breathe for a few days. Even after that, it was just too difficult to take.
I even gave a lot of excuses. I just wanted to assume. I wanted to just assume that there was a conversation that took place. Yeah. That there was an agreement that, okay, you can do your party. This independent let life continue. Yeah. So I felt like there might have been that conversation that this person has gone. You cannot.
Yes, exactly. He was 57. You're doing your 60th.
So there are on many levels. I was exercising the day my very good friend lost her dad. Like I was on the street. So one of our friends just called me that her father died this morning. I just got home. It wasn't a conversation. I just called my husband and I said, I'm going to travel right now. He said, call the driver. It was not a conversation. That is life. That it is you know people that are your people when they stand by you. Yes. That is a test of of the people that have your back. And so it is extremely important that we say what is right, what is wrong. However, we have a sample because we have conversations here, and it's very, very tense for me to have conversation around somebody that is grieving, something that is death-related, those kind of things, because, we don't want to point finger for it's coming back to you. Yeah. So I am also in that space of struggling on what to say. But just a few days ago, we took a story about another person who was grieving, who felt slighted, and took to social media. These people felt slighted as well. They didn't take social media.
They took action.
They took action. We need to be mature when you are seeing that I am in pain, but I'm not going to let you mock my pain.
Yes.
I'll not come outside and let myself become the talk of the town. So the parents could have come outside and say, we are not, this party was horrible. The children come outside and say, but you will see the level of maturity in how they handle it. Even as we're grieving, we must be able to protect our name.
Let me take this call from Lucky. Lucky's calling from Abuja. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning.
Morning.
All right. I want to agree with Topman. I think the best thing to do right now is just to apologize. You understand? Because there's spirituality, there's a connection there. Though we not heard from the parents, everything we hear is just on the social media, whether they are painting, whether they are adding to me, saying that in quotes, like the president of that church, which we don't know. I was like, was it that I was going telling people I pay so amount of whatever tithe and offering. So what the best thing to do now is for the church, whether it's coming from the headquarters or it's coming from that particular parish or the region, you can just go out and just apologize so that this thing can, just be laid to rest. Everybody knows that it is not proper, when someone dies. Not minding, the caliber of people that were there at that party. And knowing the kind of person she is also someone that people would want to put together. Maybe they've done that a long time ago, you get. So, and I mean, they were just supposed to postpone that thing.
That's
Can I just say something? Our pastors are seen as kabiosi, like they are almost seen next to God. You cannot question these people. My pastor posted something recently. I was in church when it happened. He came to church, spoke about how eagles are the highest flying birds in the world. Somebody sent him a text message, a message to it later. I don't know how it happened, but the next Sunday I was in church, he apologized for what he said. That what he said was a misinformation. You see, the truth is everything that is being done by someone in authority or someone that has influence can change how things are being seen. It can change the way culture is seen or the way history is seen. So that apology is not because of the church. That apology is to protect the church and protect the sanctity of the role it carries.
What of Tony Elumelu? His friend.
All the others that are there.
He was also there
at the
dancing.
party.
I think we didn't see him at the night of tributes either.
They were disinvited, I'm sure.
It's possible that he was also disinvited, but he also was at the party. I mean, we didn't see the whole video of the party. It's just that small clip where he was dancing that we saw. And suddenly it seemed that he was already judged because, hey, he was celebrating. It wasn't his fault that somebody set up a whole party and brought what's that guy's name? The Shine guy, the dance, the flavor. It wasn't, it wasn't his fault that he didn't know what happened. He didn't just come and celebrate with you. You invited me. I just danced with you. And suddenly it seemed to be. Yeah.
Me, I know how to uninvite myself. I don't honor any invitation. I used to say I don't even go to burials because it was against my family values. We were raised, we didn't attend. But I saw my father honoring, and I started learning it. What I don't do is the partying, the fertility at any. I have honored a few that against, And so certain places you want to go, you look at it and say, no, this is wrong. This is not sensitive. This is not right. I didn't expect Elumelu because all of them are of the same age grade.
Yeah.
This guy is 57 and he died in his prime. And you go on and celebrate your 60th like, okay, you have a right to life. That's the way to be seen. You can comport yourself certain ways. Even if he was in attendance at the party, you could have been in mourning, sit down, no matter what they say, no, not at this time. And you, in your messages to the birthday girl, she will understand that she's doing something wrong as well. But you go on stage, you sort of endorse him. And the song in question, it's like people are shaking finger inside the eyes. People don't listen. The song in question, you were doing like this, you certain things. No. A greatness. If it was your driver that died, you will still go, Abby. So now it's your friend that is as big as you that died, you still go again, waiting. Is this life? Okay, you just live life. If life is so beautiful, don't die, stay forever.
Yeah. Let me take this call from Okola Wole. Thanks for calling, Okola Wole. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Let me give you an instance. Before the election in Kaduna State, they killed some people, these herdsmen. And our president now has planned his birthday colloquium. He has spent millions.
I was there.
But because of those people they killed, he cancelled it. He went there and he said, this colloquium for today is cancelled.
Yeah.
That pastor is a psychedelic pastor.
Is it what?
He is not called by God. I am telling you, many of them are like that. A family They
Okay,
lost
Mr.
3
Kalawale,
people.
I have to cut that off
Three-
because I'm sorry, I have to cut that. Please, let's not mention names. Psychedelic is not a good name, and it's not a good word to describe somebody. We understand everybody's pain. We're only expressing our view.
Could have done better.
We're going to choose the right words to describe each other. I was at that colloquium, so I can elaborate on what you said. I was at the colloquium. We're all there, getting our seats, sitting down, getting ready for the celebrant to come in. And we sat down there, and the president at the time came in. He wasn't president at that time. He came in, and he said, based on what happened, everybody go home. We have to cancel this. After receiving, now people are now rushing to go and get their party pack. The souvenir. You can't do all the souvenirs, please. You know, people are now rushing down. So
that would have
they all just
been-
went.
Yeah.
Everybody went home.
So, you know, when things happen, that's when you really know people who are on your side. Sometimes we have people around us who show up when the times are good, and we assume because they are smiling with us and eating with us from the same plate that they are on our side. They're actually in our corner, but not on our side. You can have different sides in one corner. They are not on your side. So some of these things reveal who we really are at the end of the day. And that's why some people say it's very good that things happen, not as painful as this, but things just happen from time to time. It shakes up the bunch, and then the ones that are not on your side fall off, and you have the remaining who are your ride and die, right? It was just painful that, you know, back in the day when we used to have churches that I know of, I've been to many churches, I've participated, I've done a lot of things in different capacities, spiritually in different churches. There used to be like a governing board, like a council of elders, where pastors bounce off ideas before they carry out any action. I don't know if that still happens.
No, there are boards. Every church
No, wait,
has a
now
board.
let me finish what I hear.
Auntie,
No, before you come
yeah.
there, don't cut me, Mariah. Let me finish
this
what I'm
church
saying.
get
They used
level.
I'm just saying.
That's the challenge. There shouldn't be. Churches shouldn't have
leave level. Leave level.
Church get
If you've heard of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints,
Yeah.
now that's like the billionaires and the millionaires in Utah,
So
America,
what he's saying
are
is-
churchmen.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
Let
a
her
wealthy church. I'm just
finish.
saying.
Let
I'm
her
just saying in organization and structure, as the business, because it's a business, gets bigger, you have structure where one person cannot unilaterally take a decision, whether it's personal or not, because of the position that you hold. So you have a governing council or council of elders or whatever you want to call it, pastoral, blah, 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 want to call it, that would bounce off every idea and say, okay, our mama is about to have a party, but now we have this death in our hands. Should we cancel? And then they test the pulse. We cannot do this at this time. They will have their arguments between one another. We cannot do this at this time. Can we suspend this? Can we do that? So that every action that comes out at the end of the day, the whole church is held responsible because it's not just one person. So I wanted to ask you now that you are the church member. Do you people have this council?
Listen, first
Or
of all,
council,
first
rather.
of all, there are different churches. So the kind of churches they talk describing in Utah, even the Seventh-day Adventists, even the Catholic Church,
They have a better structure?
They have different structures.
No, not better.
My own church, I would say better. They have different structures. Our church has different structures.
Okay.
Now the RCC, I'm not a RCCG official, so I don't have all the details. But we have our Father in the Lord, which is Daddy Gio, and he heads the church. And there are the various provincial and regional pastors who head, which this church also on their parish is also under a province who has somebody in charge. Now, decisions on birthday parties are not something you take to the province for decisions. It's not something that even the original pastor can decide. It's a personal decision. It's your own birthday party.
Wow.
However, the point is that I hear what you're saying is that there should be a board of trustees, but I don't think this is an issue that had to go to the board of trustees.
Yeah, mama.
However, the reaction, however, of this should probably get the board involved, maybe the province. Okay, should you have gone ahead with this? Should there be a sanction? Should there be some kind of a sanction to deter churches from this kind of behavior?
Well, you know, if we don't,
I'm almost done.
Okay.
The reason why I said there are levels is that we're not talking about just any church.
Yes, this is COD.
COD is RCCG.
Yeah.
Like that is us.
And it's wrong to have that kind
and
of...
they are a very important foundation of the church. They are important part of the church that you can't just go ahead and be sanctioning. So you also have to have a conversation about it.
And that's what you just said now.
Yes. It's the problem.
It's a massive problem. there
Which
is
I don't want us to
nobody.
bring to
Yes,
this table.
it's not.
Why?
We're not
Why?
we can choose not to because
Why
we have to.
can't
She's a member of the church now. We cannot be
You
doing
can't
that.
bring my church matter to
Yes,
the table.
yes,
We are
in that
discussing
way.
Herbert.
Yes, so I'm bringing it back.
One parish.
Yes, I'm bringing it back.
I didn't know.
We were trying to we were trying to discuss. I'll give example of the structure in my own church because
Okay.
that's where I worship. There's a replacement that wants to take place within the organization, and while the pastor sanctioned it,
Go
the
ahead.
board did not sanction it. And the pastor said he can't do anything because the board did not sanction it.
That's
There must be
how it
checks
should
and
be,
balance within
yes.
the organization. But it isn't just Tony Libulo that was at that party. Members were at the party. Deaconess and deacons were at the party.
And when their mama is-
They
Everybody
don't have
was-
relationship with the person that.
so what I'm saying is, how do you
that-
raise a structure that becomes so powerful as a leader that nobody can call you to account and tell you that, this thing you just did, they cannot send you a text
the
message.
account.
Before you do it, go.
Before you do it, I'm sorry,
Mama, this time, mama, we are
And if
grieving.
you, as a leader, if you don't have it, you should be worried because you need people around like that can call you because you might be a good person with a good
an
heart
angle we have
and oblivious. You can be a good person and oblivious of some things that are right or wrong. I
good and not sensitive.
didn't respect boundaries for very many years. As a good person, I just did not understand that these are things you should not do. Don't get too close to this. Don't touch this person's things. Or I was taught and I opened myself to learn. But imagine you become so high as a person.
And nobody
Nobody
talk
can
to
then
you.
tell you.
Let me take this
It's
call.
about to go.
Gabriel has been holding for a while. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Zonya Guanamo.
Good morning, Gabriel.
Sorry, Gabriel.
Mm.
You're live. Go ahead, please. Okay, I think I lost that call. Go ahead, Nima.
Okay, there's an angle we are not bringing in, the cost of planning an event. So my whole concern is that because this person that Mora is talking about is too big and high and mighty, is it that you cannot bear the extra cost of cancelling the event, you know? So
Like the
maybe the
budget.
caterers will say, okay, we've already bought tomatoes, so but okay, if we have to move this event to
We'll pay
next
this
year or
extra.
forward, you pay an extra. Or let's even say the food have been cooked like the colocom, and the cost of it have already been disbursed. But can I not have a party after I've spent so much? You know, is that the situation? Is it the cost of event planning that make party go on?
Yes,
Answer, yes, now.
I'm asking a rhetorical question. No, it's rhetorical. It's rhetorical. It's to put to thoughts, push your thoughts
let us think about
towards it. That is it that she's not able to fund her birthday. You know that she cannot cancel it. You know that you cannot call the vendors and all of them and say, I don't want. Is it that? She didn't see that side because, you know, if a person is very self-centered, one of those things they will look at, people will say, I cannot afford it, you know. And so for her, she just puts out there that, you know, a lack of means.
Then it's
Take James. Good morning, James. Thanks for calling.
Morning, Maria. How are you?
Very well, sir.
I think it's very
I can't hear you, James. It's your
Can
bedroom.
you hear me now?
You're using bedroom voice, please.
No. That is not the bedroom voice. That's my normal voice.
Okay, go ahead.
Mariah, that's my normal voice.
Okay, sir, go
I
ahead.
just greet every one of you. You see, just your topic. Now, let me just contribute to your topic. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Like what the topic you just raised now. You see, some pastors, not some, most of the pastors we have now, they are into businesses, nothing more, nothing like Christianity here. Because you can imagine when a member of such person dies and who has been maybe a pillar of the church also, quote unquote, the birthday celebration can be postponed. You can just make to a week after the burial. Once the burial is over, then you can celebrate whatsoever you want to celebrate. But like what just happened, I just like the pastor or the pastor's wife or the church itself, they are celebrating that this man is gone. I think that is just the bottom line. And there's nothing like Christianity again. All we are after now, all things that have been happening, every church now, go deeply. Mariah, I'm telling you now, just do your investigation. I know you people, you are into investigating journalism or something. Go deep.
Thank
and
you,
see
James.
99% of the churches, they are into business. I tell you.
Thank you, James. Thank you very much. for your-
99% is a
entitled to your
huge
view.
generalization.
Most
Yeah.
religion.
But you see, I was going to bring another part, an angle to this. There's a possibility that if I was the wife of the pastor, you know, I could see things in this way, saying, listen, everything this man who passed has done for this church is to God, not to me. It was not me you gave your money to. It was not me you gave money. It's God.
True.
So it is God. It is God that has received the money and has for the work
How did
of
God receive the money?
Now,
Mariah.
True. Let's just leave it at that.
I'm looking at it from it was not me, Mariah, you gave your money. It was God you gave this money to, and God has used this money for
Let
the
me
church.
use another. Let me use another angle.
Which account?
Don't make me feel as if I'm going because
I'm responsible for the donation to the church.
No.
You did not put it in my account.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. It's just what he did not put it in my account now. It's church account.
Yes.
It wasn't
But who is
personal.
managing the church account?
The church is not personally managed. Who
is representing the church?
I'm telling you, the truth is, there are few smaller churches. In small churches, accounting decisions are carried out by the general overseer. In most big churches, accounting decisions and money cannot be taking place. As like you can't, the general overseer is going to have to, is going to be discussing and tabling it. It's not a personal decision.
Unbelievable.
Another thing is, maybe we are overrating the relationship they have. Maybe they don't have a relationship.
Even though.
I'm just saying, because I checked, it could be, maybe we as people outside are saying, this big person is in your church, why are you, maybe they don't even have a relationship like that. We don't know, because I checked Pastor ID's page, no mention. Pastor Shiju's page, no mention. So Pastor Shiju even just posted one, I think after it really died, she just posted a picture of Herbert Wigwe, and that was all, no other mention. So I feel that maybe somebody can look at me that maybe they see me with someone and think we're very, very close, but we're not close. I have somebody like that, people assume that this is your mentor. People are very, very close. Say, it's not my mentor. We don't, close Ben, yeah. We just take picture at occasions together.
That one is different. That's personal relationship. Can I tell you why it's different? Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to say something. So, the church is...
Let me pause. You have a call from London. No vex. One thing, being from London, I do apologize. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Yes.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I do appreciate your program a lot. I just want to comment because of the show. I lost my son, which is 5 years old, January 8th. The boy wasn't sick, and he just died. The question I'm putting in is, most of my friends have got something to celebrate within a month. Up to now, they cancel everything just to stand by me. I just believe that the pastor should be so sensitive. A member of the church should not postpone it. Because you know that.
Thank you very much, Benga, for sharing your views. Yes, Nima.
Church is a corporate entity, a corporate personality, something that is just, is not existent, is a building. It is the relationship of these individuals with Wigwe that must have brought in all the, whatever they exchange in gifts and favors and help and assistance. He will not go and give it to a building of a group of unknown people. That's the truth. And if he wants to do God's work, he's from rivers. If he enter rivers like this,
I go scatter the whole
he go see people where go distribute, they go they hail him, hail the family, go the family house.
Yes, he's doing that.
This school is a private business.
Yeah, but he's also doing.
No,
I'm sure he's doing stuff.
No, Mora, I also want to add.
You don't understand. You're a Muslim.
No, leave it now.
I don't understand.
I don't understand grief. Okay, let me add. Leave that one. I want to add this part of friends falling out. So, because somebody say, we don't know. If you know somebody at all, in Yoruba language, if you know somebody at all, you even know the person, but they are far from you. You know them. When you come to respect them, not because you're close, you might respect them. And you must show that respect even in grief. I'm saying, you had a friend before, you people are falling out. We had a situation of a friend that, we shared. And when your mom passed, I called her. I said, did you hear Morel's mom passed? She said, I don't know how to go there. I said, you better make sure you show up in that house because death is a visitor that will touch everybody. Yes, and she has both parents still alive. She was like, yeah. I said, think I'm well. And I cut the phone. She called me later in the evening. I've just gone to Morel's house. I'm leaving.
That's why.
Because, no.
I have friends that can call you out.
We don't all have sense. Sense is not selective.
Wisdom.
But you must also think about it. That we've known before. There are relationships that extend the way you define them. It's not something everybody understands. Even when we fight, it's not something that everybody must understand. I keep relationship with my friend's parents, and I will be fighting the friend. I lost a friend in university. She had even graduated. And I made sure I stayed with her parents until I saw that my visiting her mom was even causing her more grief. I made sure I showed up at her brother's birthday. She has passed, though. She will not be here to say I kept the relationship. I showed up. The mom was shocked to see me at her brother's wedding because they didn't even remember to extend the invitation. But the young man had said, my wedding is coming up, auntie. And I showed up to honor a late friend. Some things you keep, they don't need to be something other people understand, but you must keep it. It is expected of you. It shows your sense.
Again. From Abuja. Wale, thanks for calling. You're live. Hello, Wale. Are you there? I think we're having issues at calling. Go ahead.
So when you are a spiritual head, every soul that God brings to you is for you to nurture and care for. You are the shepherd. Even Jesus said, every flock that was given to me, I preserved all of them. None was missing. That's your job as a spiritual head. Even if it's not Herbert, even if it's the least usher or the cleaner that this happened to, and this party happened, I will say the same thing. You are not sensitive to the person you are not mourning with the person who is mourning. You rejoice when they are rejoicing, but you don't mourn with them, and you're already falling in the things that's supposed to uphold that organization. That's one. I did not send money to God. Please, let's clear it. You are a human being representing God. I sent money to you because I believe that you have a call on your head. And that's why I sent money. I could have sent money to any other person, but I chose to send it to you to further the work of God. I expect that you recognize me. I expect that you mourn with, not to recognize me as in praise me or in church and or give me front seat. That's not what I'm saying. I expect that you empathize with me, with anything that I'm going through, the way I would empathize with you. Because right now, we are the church. We always say it's a corporation, it's a building. Even Jesus said it. You are the church. We are the church. How do I relate with you when you're mourning? How do I relate with you when you're rejoicing? How do I relate with you when things are not going on for you? That's what the relationship should be about. Not whether you gave your money to your God. Which God? God did not give me account.
Okay.
You gave me your tithe booklet. I decided to pay into the tithe. And I see where the money is going to in the 4 walls of the church, and we're all glorifying God. If anything happens to me, I expect a certain reverence that I am a part of this building and I'm a part of this church.
And that reverence,
and that's not just for Herbert, for every member of the church.
Contributed ice block.
Ice block.
And that's reverence.
Contributed cement block.
And that reverence.
It's not 1 minute prayer.
Hello?
1 minute.
That reverence come from one and only one person, God. Should. Wait. God is the only one that can say, yes, you get this. Right now, the heavens are open and welcome him because he has done so much to the kingdom of God.
Okay.
It is God who owes him that reverence.
Okay.
Even God can also send people to him to acknowledge that. Well, I'm just saying, I'm just giving an example. I'm trying to look at the other side of the picture.
shepherd.
Not because I totally agree, but I'm trying to understand that. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see the fact that as a person, as a pastor, you have brought in this. It's not to me, Moriah.
No, whether you bring in or not.
You have brought it to the work of God because everything we are doing here is for the work of God.
Sweetheart.
So your own acknowledgement and reference doesn't come from me. It should come from the God.
No, BC, you know you have said, you've established that they should give credit.
Let's separate whether I'm bringing money or not. The fact that I belong to a place, you probably converted me, and I belong to that place, and I give my time and energy in that place. I belong to this family. It's like a family.
Yes.
The church is supposed to be a family.
Yes, I agree.
So if in your family, something happens to one person, and the other person is saying, all the cooking you have been cooking for us since you've been cooking it for God.
Yes, I get you. We agree. No, I get you. I agree with you. I've already said the Kotio that what happened was wrong. However, as we sit down, we also know that human beings are wired to fail at one thing or the other. Human beings make mistakes. That's why there's room for apology. That's why there's room for repentance. That's why there's room for redress. We cannot castigate a human being so much that we don't give the room for acknowledging for that. It's a human being. People make mistakes. I'm traveling tomorrow.
I made a mistake.
I'm traveling tomorrow, and we had booked this ticket we're supposed to go in October, my husband and I. And my mother-in-law died. And I was like, the cost of changing tickets is expensive. Mark, let's go. He said, I cannot travel when my mother just died. Right.
So you would have traveled?
I would have traveled. Some other people traveled. Some other people traveled in the family.
Yeah.
it was a case of, the truth is, I didn't...
Paid money, yeah.
They felt like it was going to cost us 10, was it 10, for the other person, 10 million to change because theirs is business tickets. Me, my own is economy tickets. So we paid, my husband said, I cannot. So while I, in all my good conscience, do I said that Mama was sick, Mama is old, she's in her 80s, Mama has died, we will do burial, but we will not spend extra money changing tickets. He insisted, you must listen. You must have people that will tell you what is wrong is wrong. You must also listen when they tell you what is wrong is wrong. But even when you make the mistake of doing the wrong thing, there must be room for you to say, I am a human being.
That's what we're saying.
I can make mistake.
Yeah.
She's a human being.
Yes.
Pastor is a human being. Members are human beings. Tony is a human being. They can make mistakes. And they choose to do this party that is wrong in a way that is public and loud in the face of grief is wrong. So what do you do when you make that mistake?
I also made my own mistake. The mistake I made when the same friend who you called to come and mourn with me, unfortunately, I disinvited her for whatever reason. I can't even remember what the reason was. And it was a very wrong thing for me to do. Even
you were
I
grieving
knew.
at that time.
I apologized, and I went back to her, and I begged her. Although she still did not show up, obviously. But I begged her profusely. I called people to please help me beg her. I am really sorry for what I did. It was not intentional. But at that moment, I knew that I owed her an apology.
You knew you had goofed.
So that was she saying.
Goofing is normal.
We would all make mistakes.
We all do.
You know. However, you must not. You must also understand where I'm coming from. That if I were the woman of God, I'm just trying to see things.
I like you know if you do. Stop doing balance. Stop doing balance.
I mean, I understand.
Stop doing balance more.
Yes,
Let
so
me finish.
we are in your
I'm still moderating.
Yes.
Continue.
I understand
I said stop doing.
that who I am as Murayo, definitely. I'm putting myself in the shoes of the person we're talking about. And saying that there could be ways she has seen it in a different way. Saying that you people are saying I should not go out with my party. I can go on my party because everything this man has done, he did it for God, not for me. So me, I have my own community, I have my own friends, that I've already done things. I have my own tribe that I'm going to have a party with. But the responsibility or the loyalty he has to this house, it's not to me personally.
Let me bring
it's to the Almighty.
community inside. So you know those people who attend burials and they'll be like, just give me the beats. I don't used to eat much, but let it not waste. Those are people. And we see them. Those are the people we are trying to balance for. You know? No, it's not, this is our brother that died, but I'm mourning him. Spray me. That brother did not spray me. It's my mother, I'm burying you.
You came to cry when you are eating.
She did not know that my mother
Amala is going, rice is going.
That's the logic that I thought, I can't be in this space because I just thought the rationale of no parties and burials for me works for me. These people have no way of seeing it.
But let's go back to the man himself.
The man. We will go back to him. But the way of repairs, I think they hold them as long as it takes. They hold his kids now. Because he's not there to receive his good back now. And the way they comported themselves. God doesn't dispute his own. But there's the human side of things.
Yeah.
I know someone who's built a house on my father's land, and the kids did not think it was okay to reach out when he passed. And when they say, because we did this, I said, okay, if you are stupid, I'm not. I just decided, cut it off.
Please, let me just quickly...
He gave you shelter, and this is the way you comport yourself. You cannot now tell me how I should comport my thoughts.
Okay, so another thing we should mention is some people will now start looking at the church, like the maintenance, it's a business center, and you will now you will generalize how you relate with the body of the church system based on one or two people's, what you see as misdeed from their part. I also know that what the Bible expects us to do is that when we do things for God, we're not expecting human being to reward us. Even if I do good to a human being, I'm not expecting the human being to reward me. And I'm not going to stop doing good because one human being disappointed himself or did not live up to expectation. My good is to God. My sowing is to God. My giving is to God. Yes, I will value to be appreciated. Our value, because you can make your sacrificial offering to church and they did not call you to say thank you for the sacrificial offering you gave because they did not see
I don't expect
it. It is
exactly.
It is.
I don't expect
when you landed your own, you landed your own.
Go ahead.
Let me drop this because it is important that we don't start doing good expecting the person I did it to should reward me.
Exactly.
And yes,
let me say go see vex if the person not get sense.
Yes, but as you are vexing, open your eyes so that you don't vex into sin. because somebody else
So
sinned.
let me just
That's the
support
bad.
Can I say something? I cannot be cooking for my husband because we have a relationship and expecting God to pay me. My husband should smile and
I say thank
appreciate
you.
that I am cooking.
Yeah, but if he
Because
doesn't?
no, hold on. This is a close-knit relationship. If I'm giving to outsiders, I'm not expecting anything. There's nothing tying us. But if I am worshiping in a place, there's something. The pastor can call me at any time and I will abandon whatever I'm doing and come and, help out. If that
But
is
if he
the case-
doesn't?
No, hold on. If that is the... No, you don't need to do it for me when I'm there. The fact that I am no longer there,
Julu.
you should.
Oh, but let me respond to you.
Give some-
Julu.
no, hold
Do you
on.
know how many couples, how many women are doing things for their husbands every day and they're not
No,
getting
there's no smile.
There's no thank you.
He's
There's no.
responsible.
It doesn't make it right.
No, so I'm just saying, but
They are doing it unto
they
God.
preserve because they know they are doing it unto God. They're also doing it for their children. They know in future, my children will regret me. So your reward is like my children.
Your reward is in heaven, as we tell the teachers.
Yes.
As we tell our teachers, as we tell our good
Hold on.
people.
If we
Hey,
want
God,
to go by
oh,
that,
God.
Yes.
that means, God, Shebi, you need money. You will have to call me that.
Come down, come and collect it.
Come and collect the money. I will keep it for you. Anytime you come, I'll give it to you. But if I'm giving it to an individual who is representing you, I expect some form of decorum. That's
Yes.
all.
Also, let me just support Tokwe. In this is a trial for the family. For him that has passed for his family. The trial is that the good he did will not be rewarded by man. That's the lesson for him.
Yeah.
For him, but doesn't make it right for the people who did it.
Yeah.
So sometimes you do good to people, they never see it, they don't appreciate it. But that's your trial. That's your own cross to carry. Maybe God has said, no matter what you do, your relationship and your reward is strictly with me and only me. And nobody else will be able to reward you for it. That's his own lesson, but doesn't make it right.
Lessons from the parents. What do you think the parents are thinking? These are people who have served the Lord all their lives. I mean, it's a very difficult conversation to have because I keep thinking, I saw them once in my own church. They came for an event and I saw the two of them. And so this was even before what happened. And I remember, I was telling my husband, that is Herbert Wigwe's parents, So I couldn't even, I just kept thinking of that picture. And I'm thinking, these are people that were serving God with everything they had. So what do you think
They have the strength to handle it. God will not give them what they cannot handle. That's just what we have to believe.
Sorry?
But I say God will not give them more than they can handle. They definitely have the strength to handle it, and they have an assignment on their hands. And I'm sure that they have the ability to carry it on to ensure his legacy lives on. But because, as we're rounding off, let us go back to the iconic Herbert Wigwe and the quality of life he lived and how we should be reminded to take stock of our own life and the impact we are having. And understand the fact that it is not in the... We've had politicians die in this country that did not get what Herbert got in terms of response to how his impact in the lives of so many people. We've had politicians pass on, some in office, some outside office, and the eulogy, some of them are tainted with a lot of insults and a lot of negative feedback. So this is opportunity for the high and mighty, our dear politicians, as well as everyone like us on the streets of Lagos and Nigeria at large to take stock of our lives and ensure that we're living a life that will give us...
It's a very painful one to see your children pass. I think one of his siblings also passed. This is not the first death the parents are having. And it is deep. It calls the question, why? Why me? God, what have I done? Have I not given my life? Have I not served you and all of that? But I just want them to understand that they have a purpose in all of this, that God would give them the strength to go through this for the greater good that he's going to bring before them, and also give them the strength to nurture the remaining ones, the remaining children, the grandchildren that they are going to be left with and all of that. And to also call everyone who has claimed or who has benefited from this family not to abandon them. Because what I see is after a few weeks, everybody just moves on to their life and nobody's calling anymore to check on the kids and check on the
we have to wrap up with you. Nima, final words.
I believe that there's still grace in this. I have come to accept certain trials as God knowing that this is the extent I can take, because I weigh it with others and say, no, this one was to happen, I won't be able to take it. So I think that they have their grandkids and they should be consoled in that fact and invest the love into those remaining loved ones, family members, especially the children. They might be blessed with a long life because of those children. I've seen where people die in their prime and the grandmothers, live so long with the grandchildren, you can't even tell that they are grandparents. So I believe that the gift is in the grandchildren for them.
That's all we can take on today's show. May the soul of the departed rest in peace. That's all we can take. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.